Sorry about this, guys. Actually, hold up just 1 second here. I'm realizing I went live, however, I'm having some audio issues, so just give me 2 seconds. Okay, that should be all of the audio sorted. Sorry about that. Realized since yesterday's stream, I never retuned the audio settings, so that should be much better for you guys. What happened? Literally what mold? So, hopefully it wasn't too bad. I was moving around the mic and stuff, so. I got a little bit of a recording session done this morning. Not as much as I would like. The intro's fully ready, video and audio, music, all of that. Still have quite a bit to do. Probably not enough to get out this week, but actually definitely not. It's gonna be a little bit more of an involved video, so we'll see how that works. But in the meantime, I'll try and continue on these, and hopefully sometime next week we will have the next long form out. So either way, I also got a little bit of work done on these guys. This guy's face looks a little goofy with his big ol' eyes, but let's give him some character. I actually did all their faces. I mean, they're not beautiful, but given the amount of time it took me on each guy, I think pretty good. Still have quite a few highlights to do, but these guys are coming along great. But in the meantime, we're going to be working on some Templars. What do you think about the faces, Noel? How do they look? Hold on, maybe this is a top chat issue. Nope. That's it from Noel, just literally. Enigmatic. Mysterious guy, that Noel. But we will. So I realized last time, as I was painting better than my faces. You'll get there. If you actually paint now, your skills will improve. I realized last time as I was doing dry brushing, I didn't seal the bases properly, and like little bits of sand fell all into my palette. So I had to replace the sheet on my wet palette, but hopefully not anything too big of an issue there. I also realized that some of the yellow needs a little better coverage. That's what we're going to start the stream off with. I also don't know what I'm going to do for the patterns on the back of these guys. On some of these little flat plates, so I'll need to figure that out. I like to give each of my squads a unique bit of heraldry there. How are you doing tonight, Nolda? Hope life and work are treating you well in your little coup that you're doing there. From what I've heard, your current supervisor probably isn't the best guy, so I wish you luck with that. Templars' favorite method of paying? Charge it. You got that right, Perkysaurus. We used to get army-wide rerolls on the charge. Those were the days. Well, I'm glad to hear. Are you looking to take up his position, or You're just hoping to get someone else in the pipeline. God, though. My annoying coworker's husband. Not the annoying coworker. Fucking hate that guy. I feel like I don't know what your company's culture's like. I feel like usually corporate doesn't like having like power sharing. I don't know. A lot easier to lay the blame on like one person. They for like management positions or like project leads or whatever, they like to have one guy that they can like threaten and fire or whatever. Of course, depends on your work culture and all that. Not every company is run the same. I'm not remembering I was supposed to glue this guy's chain in place on my own time, and I forgot to do that yesterday. / today. I can't read this dog and it's stressing me out. I can't tell what's wrong. Yeah, sometimes my guy's like that. He's like, he looks like stressed out and sometimes he's just bored. Like if you take him on like a walk or whatever, he'll figure it out. But obviously, it's not your dog. You don't have the instincts. It's a little hard for you to communicate with the animal. How's the audio mixing? He just got mopey ever since face canceled. That's it. He's not even here tonight. That faceplant guy canceling his stream and stuff. Cannot believe it. Could be me. I don't have a set stream schedule. I just sort of wing it whenever I have a few free hours. I do mind the metallic, which I think is lore breaking, but I don't know. It was just a thing I started doing as a kid, and I've just like been doing it ever since with my Templars. Hold on. Yeah, look. My undersuit is metallic. I know it's not like kosher. I know that it's not like what Big Britain tells you to do, but. Yeah, tell him it's gonna rage bait him to actually join the chat. Faceplant and tell him to join the stream. I shouldn't like actually whisper. I just realized because it's like, man, it's like bedtime. Just leave the stream on overnight. Not many people know this, but this stream actually generates electricity. It's good for your power bill if you leave it on. PSENG or whoever you have is gonna be real happy. Anyone have recommendations for the design on this back piece right here? Because I'm at a little bit of a loss. My first... do they make Evangelion model kits? I'm a bit of an Evangelion head. And I watch the rest of those cartoons, but I am into the Avas. That's like not specifically the robots, just like the showman. Just like the funny cartoon. A gun. Yeah, they're by the same people who make the Gundam models. That kind of tracks, I guess. I always think of like Black Templars having very knightly heraldry. I don't know if I necessarily would have thought they would have like just like a rifle on their as their squad symbol, but they are riflemen, so it does add up, I guess. Also, I just decided I'm gonna do white faceplates. And you can't stop me. I missed my space, yo. I brought 7 minutes to paint one day and just so uncomfortable no matter what I do. That's kind of what home is, right? No place like it. Whenever you're away from it, even like... I think when you're on vacation, it's one thing, but like, when you're in your like old routines, I got this a lot whenever I was doing like remote work or remote whatever. Like you're like, oh wow, I could actually like travel, I could be somewhere else while being at my job, right? That's like incredible. But then you go away from your house, you're like embroiled in your like day-to-day conflicts. And you're like, oh wow, I went to go visit this person, but now I'm like living my usual day-to-day in their house, and it just all feels wrong, right? If you feel like displaced, even if it's like for me it was like a few days or whatever. Does like your job not allow for it? Or is that just like a personal choice? I mean, if you're full-time, they have to allow you vacations, but like, you just take them from home, or what do you do there? Huh. Might also be like a how you're raised sort of deal. I could definitely see maybe if you sort of grew up always just being in the same area, you might not want to leave it. For 3 weeks at Christmas time instead of going on vacation, makes sense. Yeah, because I have family everywhere, even from when I was like little. It also made it easy financially, because even though we didn't have money, it was always cheap. Cheap to go somewhere because I have family everywhere. So it's obviously this for me, because I could just go to Greece and chill out my cousins, right? Or I could go to Germany and stay there. I could go to Vienna. And usually my family likes me enough to just let me bum on their couch or whatever. So I've always had like a pull to go places. But that's also the insane extended family coming in. Because I have like 30 aunts and uncles or something crazy. Which is close to 40 actually. But I know that's something most normal people do not have. I'm not thinking of what to do for pattern. Maybe like maybe just like black background. Like a thick red stripe. With like a white outline. Don't forget the gun on the back. We'll do it on next squad, Gino. Perkysaurus says, I did do a video meeting at work when I was in the Caribbean. My background was the beach. My boss got so mad at me. Yeah. Like, especially if like you're remote, I feel. I don't know. Like, as long as I think you're given 100%, as long as you don't have like any commitments, if you are like fully remote. Let's say that I'm like, yeah, that's like what vacation days are for. Because you obviously get those as a remote worker. But I would have loved to be part of that Zoom meeting, Perky. And was yellow the whole... What do you mean yellow? Like, do you have jaundice? What do you mean he was yellow the whole vacation? I reminded him it was remote work, not work from home, and he was welcome to buy out my contract anytime. It's funny. Oh, I see. I see. I'm surprised like a corporate job would approve a working vacation like that. But I guess, I mean, unless they didn't have anyone else. But if you still got paid like full rate, that's kind of wild. It's one of those things like that's messed up. But if that were me at that company, I'd be trying to swing the same thing for myself. I'm surprised you say you don't want to go anywhere though, Gino. Have you ever been outside the US, or is this all you know? Perky Gionga. I just work on the weekend if I have something to do coming up, so I don't have to take it, or so I don't have to take PTO. My PTO is safe for the winter holidays. Nope, never outside the US. Yeah, I kind of figured if you're saying you you don't want to take vacations. I don't know. I can empathize, I can't sympathize, if that makes sense. Like that probably couldn't be me. But I think I can see where you're coming from. I traveled a lot when I was younger, so now I just like staying home. I can see that. I don't know. I'm still a really young guy, so. Who knows what aging has for my brain? I'm a dinosaur, Rar. I sort of kind of already feel that. Like, even though I don't have a house, my parents recently bought one. And now I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere because I'm going to have to help them with this stuff, and I would rather... If I have time, I would rather just use it like for the renovation or whatever. So I definitely feel like once you're like settled down, also when you have like animals or whatever. Like you probably just don't want to leave. Just knowing my neighborhood, you probably get robbed. Whatever. My boss wanted me to have a conversation today about communication that proceeded to just stay home and not tell anyone. Funny. What a goofball your boss is. What a funny guy. He doesn't deserve his job. And he's like the dad from Matilda. I never watched Matilda. I've watched Dolomite, I haven't watched Matilda. Alright, I'm gonna take a minute for a kind of dumb reason. I'm gonna have to do this off stream. Or off camera rather. I'll still be here. The frame just might be a little bit barren. So bear with me. I just did a really boring red stripe, then I'm gonna do a white outline. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nold. Okay. I'm gonna try and take it easy with the super glue. Just a dab. Stick it on there. Close the glue. And grab the accelerator. I will get some more glue and I'll just dab it across. Actually, I probably should have maybe held off on the accelerator, but it should be okay. Alright, that should be good. Just close these off, and we are gonna be done with this. I can finally bring everything back on screen. One moment, guys. There's that guy. Chain is attached. He is just slightly wet from the accelerator. I'm I'm getting a Wingstop near my place of residence. Very excited. Wingstop is kind of pricey, and there's like better wings near me. And I'm a big wing head. In general, we're a big wing family here. But behind steak, wings are I think my dad's favorite food. And he loves Wingstop. But the qualities of wings we buy is it's a real dragon's hoard of wings that I'm always pulling out there with. Once he gets munching on them, I start going through money quick. Also, I know I show these off already, but for the fact that I did a bunch of these just like in an hour, I'm quite happy with the faces. Typically for human models, I just get kind of lazy sometimes, especially in like for a big block of 10 guys. But I think they came out all right for what they are. I'm not gonna say they're like the best. They're nowhere close to my best faces, but like, yeah, we're missing our regulars, I guess. That's it. You're right. You're right the whole time. I should have listened to you, Gino. I'm gonna kick them all out of Discord. Also, hey, let me drop a link to that. Because I randomly decided to make anyone lurking in here. Feel free to join up. I'll add it to the thing. I made a Discord. It's not really done yet, but feel free to join it as I actually get all set up. Hold up. We'll post it here, and I will also post it in the description if I can. There we go. Alright. If anyone was interested in that, back to the actual main event. Oh, yo, I didn't even realize because it was all in green. Hey, Dentry, how you doing? I genuinely thought that was Nold. Because I was looking at the colors more than the actual names or profile pictures. Don't feel like you need to stick around on my behalf, Nold. If you need to go, you are free to leave. Obviously you aren't. Obviously I'm keeping you hostage, but you can't let the fans know that. You need to keep some kayfabe on that front. So instead of going in with the straight bone color, I'm like mixing in some dark gray paint that I know has like really good coverage. And I'm basically just using that to be my sort of shadow layer of the white. What will eventually be a white color. Sad. Must make it at least 9. I wake up at like 3 or 4, start working away. You can do. I got 20 more minutes. Well, that's 20. That's 20 more minutes we can enjoy of your presence, Nold. Glad to have you. I also want to do a white face mask because I think it'll look kind of neat. Oh, geez, I just saw a bunch of pinks on my Discord, and Perkysaurus, these minis are incredible. They're like phosphorate. They're like, I don't know, they kind of remind me of like images you see of like the surface of like Venus or something. These guys are super like crazy looking. Oh man, you have to tell me what color, what that pink, what paint is that pink? I don't know if you're still here, but I'm gonna at you on Discord also. We got our first mini poster. I don't even know what that means. No, break that down for me, because I'm stupid. What's a mini poster? Fluorescent pink for more colors. I will... Hold on. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to leave a note for myself in the Discord. So So I don't forget that, because I may or may not need that for a project. I may or may not be convoluting a new project in my head, so I have an excuse to buy that paint. Finish Skaven time? Bro, you are... I need to start Skaven Tide first, are you kidding me? I now feel like I'm forgetting like purity seals and things. Let me do a quick double back. It's because I am forgetting purity seals and things. I've been playing a little bit of Total Warhammer 3. I have a really fun Grom the Paunch save file going. I did have delisting the stream from yesterday night, the gaming one. I named it something that I realized YouTube probably wouldn't like. You know, it was like a Warhammer thing, but like it was probably risque enough that YouTube just, I think, kind of murked it. And also, I think it was just kind of boring stream, so what are you gonna do? I feel like doing some more total... Whoa. Sorry, my PC just really lagged out there for a second. I don't know what that was about. I feel like doing some more Total Warhammer stuff. I have a few. There's like my very first streams. I feel like going back to that might be interesting. Now I wait for dogs to come back so we can go to bed. I enjoy having the dog. Well, I don't know what your situation is, but... Oh, wait, shit. Shit. Gosh dang it, guys. I did stripes on the back of each of these guys. On this fella, I did it the wrong way. I did like a backslash instead of front slash, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna wait for that to dry for a minute. While we do, we're gonna do the rest of the weight on this fella. Alright. Looking pretty good. Not too bad, gentlemen. Ooh, Perky posted more stuff. This looks like... I also peeped the Servitor kill team in the back. But this... Ooh, is this like a chaos thing? All that loose wiring looks like a Lehman Russ turret. Oh, is that like a from a Tau Hammerhead? Looks like it might be a Tau thing. That looks like crazy looking. That's like a interesting looking chaos construct thing, Perky. That Lehman Russ. I assume you airbrush this. This looks great. Nice. Look, the sandbags on it, little bullet holes. Looted Orc makes sense, yeah. I was mainly thinking Chaos because... Oh, yeah, it almost reminds me of, like shark mouths on planes. The thing, like, near the front. That, like, the spikes kind of give me Chaos vibes, and there's, like, I think 8 pointed star decals. However, Orcs, everything makes sense for Orcs, especially all that loose wiring on that turret. Good shit, man. Okay. Let me go grab... Actually, no, it's right here. This brown, and we're gonna just pick out all the gold details, along with like all our leather brown sort of stuff. I'm getting massive incongruencies in my actual viewer numbers between OBS and the old YouTube, but whatever. I just hope people are enjoying the stream. If you are a Warhammer fan, definitely make sure to let me know what you're working on. I always love to hear about people's projects. I'm cooking dinner while I watch, so can't type much, but loving these minis. I work on Green Marines when I return home. What exactly do you have in mind? But really glad that you can watch even though you can't type. Liberator. I'm currently working on some custom terrain and touching up my Templar army. Oh man, a fellow Crusader. Always glad to meet one of my brothers in the wild. If you do want to share pics, there should be a link to the Discord in the description, so just started that. If you want to post any images of that, let me know, because I would love to have a look at them. This Templar army at least is a little bit non-traditional with all the yellow, but still. You should. Everyone in the Discord should just start Templar armies. It's the only faction that should exist in Warhammer. We get rid of Space Marines. It's now just Black Templars and Orcs. Oh sweet, I'll hit you up. I would love to have you, man. But yeah, as I was saying, Black Templars, Orcs, that's it. That's all you need. GW stock price immediately tanks. They're millions of dollars in the hole. Everyone's getting fired. The entire island of Great Britain becomes the new Atlantis that falls into the sea. Exactly. We make a... We're simultaneously hyper-traditionalists that make a habit of being non-traditional. Another reason why we are truly the best. The patrician's choice. This probably won't be for this stream, but what I'll probably do is a mini review set. We are Sigismund. Hell yeah, Bob Saget. So it's a we I am Spartacus bit. No, I am Sigismund. That's it. Templars and all the other dorks. Man after my own heart. You got some good ideas there. In the case anyone's curious, the reason I'm going over the gold bits with the brown, I feel like it gives a lot of richness to those gold details. Like oftentimes the metallic paint, the undercoat really matters. So you want like a nice dark undercoat for silver, usually black. I just leave it. There's a little bit of dry brush on it that doesn't matter. And like a nice dark umber brown like this makes gold really, really look good. What's the news on the latest Warhammer stuff? But yeah, I might do like a mini review section in future streams. I'll do like a new channel on Discord. Over the course of the stream, I'll like open up to people to post. And then I'll probably lock it down near the end. And then last, let's say like 20-30 minutes of the stream, we can go over people's paint jobs. I feel like that's probably an interesting idea, right? I might even have like I don't want to like, you know, tear into people's paint jobs if they don't want it. So like, I'll probably let people specify, hey, I want like a critique, or I just want to share my stuff, right? Because I like giving people advice, if like, you know, if I know I can help, but at the same time I don't want to make anyone feel bad about their hobby. So I think that's probably going to be an idea for next stream. We'll test that out. What's your plan for the pauldrons? So, left pauldron's going to be traditional Templar, right pauldron's going to be Imperial Fist. If you want an idea of what that's going to look like, this is on a Sword Brother. Actually, I think I have a normal Marine here. Yeah, here we go. So, end result, we're looking for something like this. Ooh, I just realized this freehand's kind of rough. And then here it is on a Sword Brother. Let me find if I have a guy that looks a little bit better. I guess this guy's scoped on. So something like this, actually. Although, I end up switching out and doing the entire left arm yellow on some of my newer guys. Painting is a shady business anyways. Oh, yeah, I heard there was like a lot of big Amazon updates. I don't know. But that show's been in the works forever. Usually not a good sign. I know a lot of people are very hyped, but I'd like to see maybe something a little bit more substantial before I really get my hopes up yet. But I'm an eternal pessimist, so I definitely don't blame people for wanting to keep up and wanting to be excited. I guess pessimist specifically for movies and TV and stuff. I've been disappointed too many times by, oh hey look, there's gonna be a big Amazon show on IP I like. Oh, a cool Amazon show that does Lord of the Rings deep lore. It's based off like a Silmarillion. Oh wait, no it's not, they couldn't get the rights. It's some like weird it's some weird bullshit. Okay, fine. But alright, that's it. I need to stop myself from just ranting about Rings of Power for 5 hours. It's supposed to be a painting stream, damn it. So yeah, I actually have normal Templars too. Let me look. So normal Templars, quote unquote. These are my Sterngard. I do, for my lore, I do Sterngard are like the lowest rank of Sword Brothers. So they're like one Sword Brother Pauldron, one normal. They're actually like aspirants to be Sword Brothers. But I have 2 Templar armies. One is the Imperial Fist guys. I don't have any Templar specific units. I run them in game as Imperial Fists. And then these guys, or then those guys I run as Templars. Anyway, you're the reason I'm going with Marine left arm stuff? Oh, thanks, Nold. Mike P, it's like drinking from a fire hose. Oh, I want to get into... Oh, I didn't see this. Yeah, Mike P. I want to get into Warhammer, but to be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. So, my advice to you would be, don't watch Rings of Power. Yeah, don't watch Rings of Power. My advice to you, Mike, would probably be like figure out what you like about the hobby. Are you a lore guy? Do you like models? And like try and isolate because there's a lot of noise. So I would say the main facets of the hobby. The main facets of the hobby would probably be the lore, the story. Some people really like that. Some people really like the actual like board game, war game part of it. And some people just like the little guys, the minis, and painting them. That's primarily where I'm at. So I would probably try all three of those in small doses, and then see what you like most. Also, there's like very good video games. There's like a lot of tangential stuff. I like the RPGs, like the tabletop stuff, the D&D-esque stuff. But I would probably like. I think there's like a free painting thing you can do if there is a Games Workshop near you, where you show up and for free they'll give you a mini and teach you a paint, like a very basic level. So like, if you ever want to get into it, I say just start there, see if it's something you like, right? Don't buy a lot, don't like put your money down. You could just be a blind zealot if you do Templars. We've already established you're the best faction. But yeah, I've seen way too many people say they want to get into Warhammer, they go overboard, they spend like hundreds of bucks on paints and models, and then they'll like paint two guys, figure out they don't like it, and then they'll start trying to sell their army, right? So it's like, you know, take it one step at a time, figure out what you like. You know, if you're into video games, there's a lot of good ones out now. If you're into older games, the Dawn of War ones are great. If you're into, like, there's good strategy games. There's also very good shooters, like Space Marine games. Yeah, I get that. I was doing a good job not buying anything. Then I got into Warhammer The Old World. And now I want multiple armies for that game. I'm actually starting a Battle Report series. However, there's a bit of a twist to it. It's sort of like more of like an RPG thing I'm doing with a friend who doesn't have his own army. So I need to now have two armies. And unfortunately, I didn't get them both painted for the first game, which is a little unfortunate, but still. I don't know dick about the lore, but I'm willing to learn. To be honest, I chose MTG 25 years ago over Warhammer, but I'm done with Magic. I like the mall aspect of it, and I want to learn the tabletop. Well, I think as like an MTG guy, the tabletop has a lot to like. There's actually been a lot of converts, like I've seen my personal time, from Magic coming into Warhammer spaces. So I would say first things first, if you have like a game store you like in your area, see if they do Warhammer stuff, right? Biggest thing about Warhammer, I think, is the community. I love my game store, I love the people there, and I love going to events. So figure out if there's like an ecosystem for that near you, see if there's people there, because, you know, I'll help you as best I can, but I think obviously trying to learn face-to-face is the best. If you can like make a friend, have them guide you through it. I'm sure there's lots of very passionate people that are willing to do that. Yeah, I would say see if there's a paint and take. Some stores like mine do paint and takes where they actually give you a mini and they talk you through it. But outside of that, go find if you have a Games Workshop near you. From what I know, I haven't done this personally. There are basically, if you're just starting out, you can go there. They'll talk you through. They'll help you get your first model painted. Yep. Yeah, and the big thing is there's like smaller game sizes. So there's Comp Patrol. There, if you're into fantasy side of it, there's Spearhead. There's like other Warhammer sort of properties. There's Battle March for Warhammer Fantasy. Great, yeah. I mean, if you like the mauling aspect, I would say, you know, I don't want to scare anybody, but I've seen a lot of really good people lose money buying too much and then not working on it. So paint one model, see if you like it, then buy a box of 10 guys, get those painted. Like, do it gradually. There are smaller, there's basically a series of smaller game modes. So there's something called a kill team, which is basically just Warhammer with a single squad. Like, I think Space Marines would be like 6 guys. Like, this would almost be a kill team. So like, you could start off with that. Then you could go up to comp patrol. Then you can actually start like doing stuff, right? And being a Magic guy, I assume you have some local game stores. You might have knowledge. A lot of game stores do both Magic and Warhammer, so you know. That may be a direction you want to go in. Also, sorry guys, I'm getting some text right now that I just have to respond to quickly. Alright, great. Sorry about that, back to these fellas. Alright, let's start. Bring that white up. Do you have a faction that you'd like that you're like interested in? I know you say you don't know anything about the lore, but I think most people know Space Marines. There's like Chaos Space Marines that I have. There's Imperial Guard, which are kind of just like your everyman human guys. These are proxies technically, but they're supposed to represent Vostroy and Firstborn. They're sort of like your more generic, lower power guys. So the current Warhammer 40,000 prices are all over the place. So for Warhammer 40k, I think you get like usually 5 to 10 guys in a box. I usually buy in bundle boxes. They're a better value. They're still super expensive though. If money is like tight, you know, there are other companies. There's 3D printing. There's a lot of stuff you can do to bring that price down. I like the official kits. But like if you know, if price is ever a concern, there are other ways you can go about it. But I think these guys come in boxes of 5. I bought them as part of the Imperial Fist Comp Patrol though. Nice, yeah. So you're into like the more, I guess, traditionally evil factions, which I am a huge fan of Chaos. Let me grab a couple. So, these guys are Chaos Space Marines. The Red Corsairs you mentioned are a type of Chaos Space Marine. Basically, just like a color scheme, they're cross-compatible. World Eaters are weird, because they're also technically a branch off, but they have their own unique miniature range, which I don't have any of. I love the look of Dark Eldar. A small thing with them is that all of those miniatures are actually quite old, even though I think a lot of the ones that they still sell look great. Yeah, Dark Eldar have not been treated too well over the past couple years. A lot of people are saying that they're probably going to be getting like a full-on upgrade, like an update, like new models, relatively soon. How relatively still up in the air, but... And that's one of the things with Warhammer, like once a faction is kind of old, some people don't like to get the miniatures if they think there's going to be an update soon, because almost like you're losing value. Not really, you can always run old miniatures, it just... They're also missing a lot of units they used to have, which makes their balance a little bit weird. But the other two, I think, are great choices for a new player. I think Dark Eldar might just be a little bit of a tricky entry point. Obviously, still doable, though. Chaos Space Marines are also bulkier on the table, so if you're like if you want to get the tabletop, I think having like extra wounds and like the extra toughness of a Space Marine body will maybe make things a little bit easier, since you can't get shot off the board quite so easily. Oh man, we've already been going for an hour. You know what? I think... Let me just take a drink here. I think just for the benefit of the spectators, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on one mini for now, instead of bouncing around quite so much. I'll get this guy finished, and then... Okay, I'll get specific. Just like in Magic, I like fast-moving actions and ask questions later type of decks. What faction does, if any? Fast-moving actions, ask questions later. So... Unfortunately, Dark Eldar, they play like, a little bit more of a... I don't know what you call it. It'll be like, I would say maybe like blue-red maybe. They're like very hard-hitting, very frail, and typically the way you play them is by like positioning, and then like taking good trades basically throughout the game, right? Like a lot of transfer play. Like you'll have like if you know what like a raider is, like the weird pirate ship looking thing, you'll fly that in. Then a bunch of hard-hitting units will come out, and then you'll blast the guy away. They'll either try and set up a retreat and then get out of there. So Chaos, Nurgle, Nids, Dark. I'm one of those idiots that has way too many to paint. It's what you want to do, or it's what you don't want to do. Yeah, I think a lot of us can empathize with that entry. So, back to Mike. Fast-moving actions and ask questions later. I would say Chaos Space Marines, like the Red Corsairs, are a good version of that. Red Corsairs typically play as like a very hyper-aggressive, like almost like a shooty, rush down, objective focus thing. Chaos Space Marine in general are weird. They have one very powerful unit that kind of carries the faction called the Defiler. But the Red Corsairs thing is they have a saw in their weapon, so they can like run and still shoot at you, which is kind of cool. World Eaters, I think, are a very obvious fit. They used to be like not particularly fast, they used to just kind of hit really hard. However, they got changed recently, so now they have a much faster move than most factions. And they have a really cool mechanic. Yeah, they have a cool mechanic where when you shoot at them, they get they can like run towards you. So I think they're a good choice. So in a similar vein to all of this is Emperor's Children. They're another Chaos Space Marine, like weird sub-faction. They're based on Slaanesh, the god of like excess and hedonism. Slaanesh I think would be a pretty good choice for that style, but obviously a lot of this is like a question of aesthetics too, right? And so Slush does that well. Slush is very quick usually. I'm thinking Wells is like very hyper aggressive like that. What colors do you play in Magic usually? Like when you say like aggro, are you like mono red? Are you like sort of like spam the board? I don't play a lot of Magic, but I know like white tends to do that a lot. With like lots of token play. Like I know about Magic, I don't really play it though, so. Because there's different ways to be aggro, I guess. Red, black, okay. Yeah, I mean, World Eaters are like a natural choice, right? I think you're a World Eater, yeah. Orcs is like another one. Although Orcs I would maybe... Like, Orcs are like a bit more of a Horde army. I think with Red and Black, it's like a very... I don't know, in my head, it's sort of like a more... It doesn't feel like a Horde army, which is just typically what Orcs are. Yep, Blood Angels. Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Black Templars all have like a sort of melee focus. Black Templars are typically a little bit more slow. Blood Angels are very like up in your face and aggressive. They're all flavors of Vanilla Marines though. Yeah, I mean, I think probably Orcs, World Eaters, or Blood Angels would all fit the bill. Also, hobby-wise, you can't really go wrong. They all have pretty new, updated kits. I know some people don't like the look of the Sanguinary Guard, but... Nothing's like super old and about to get removed. So, hope that helps. Gives you 3 directions to go in. As always, if you know, there's a lot to it. If you ever have any follow-up questions, like how you can get started, let me know. Join Discord if you want. DM me, whatever you want to do. I mean, yeah, they're all kind of just Space Marines, right? But Space Marines have a lot of units. Blood Angels can be very aggressive. So, I don't know. I have like a kind of a stereotype with Magic guys coming to 40k that they are typically going to be looking for a little bit more of like match play, like less like sort of like homebrew, lore, fluffy stuff. So like if that's you, I think Space Marines are in a weird spot. They're not like very strong. They have like the way Space Marines are currently as an army. They're one where you have to like adjust. It's a very large range, which means internal balance is sometimes weird. Being you typically need like if you want to play a high level, you're gonna have to like jump around units a lot. When I think something like World Eaters is like a really nice choice because there's so few units. Typically, all of them have to be balanced to be at least usable for World Eaters to succeed as an army. Which sounds weird, but it does hold true in my experience. But it's just kind of one of the weird things about how GW decides to balance stuff. as always, look into them, see if any of them particularly strike your fancy, and if one does you, let me know. I will hopefully be able to give you maybe some advice on first steps. Like what boxes you should buy. Like if you want to start smaller point values, or if you're trying to just speed into the big like main game mode, I guess. You know what? I'm not like the biggest I know a lot of Warhammer lore, but I don't consume all of like the TV shows. There's a bunch of something called Warhammer Plus, which is a subscription service I don't pay for, but I know there's like alternatives to it. So I would maybe look at those shows. Which I think, well, there's something called Astartes, but I think that's also locked behind Warhammer Plus now. For shows, I can't think of any like major ones. There's lots of like fan films. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of like Warhammer lore guys on YouTube. I don't watch that stuff myself, but there's like dozens of these guys. Baltimore, Luton, there's a bunch of good guys that, you know, type in Warhammer lore, you'll probably find a dozen great channels. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I know some people like the audiobooks if you don't like actually reading. I'm not huge into reading Warhammer books myself. Yeah, Astartes is like seminal, right, in the modern day. It's like a modern classic. I think you should probably watch that if you're into anything Space Marines. But yeah, you can definitely learn all about the lore without ever having read the book. I think the video game Space Marine 2 is awesome. A Dawn of War series is awesome. Dark Tide is great. The Rogue Trader game from Owlcat's great. Have you ever seen the anime? There's always clips. Oh, Bolter and Chainsword. I haven't seen it. I've seen all the good parts from clips on like Instagram Reels or whatever, though. Yeah, it's part of their subscription service. It's part of Warhammer Plus. There's ways to get around it, but I'll let you sail the seas on your own. Yeah, look up Astartes then, Mike. Look up Astartes. Look up. If you're a video gamer, play Space Marine 2 probably. That's a good one. If you like passive listening stuff, like I used to do that a lot at work. Get, yeah, you know, look at the audiobooks, look at some lore videos. Oh yeah, funny enough, I haven't watched that, but I heard it's great. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm sometimes kind of bad when it comes to Warhammer stuff. Also, especially on the lore side. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I've heard the secret level episode's great. I just haven't watched it. Yeah, if you're like an RTS guy, I love the first Dawn of War, although I know the second one has its fans. Three's, you know, three's a bit contentious in the fan base. I'm gonna take a second because I see a bunch of people posting minis, and now I'm getting distracted. Oh man, then she posted this awesome. I believe that's a patriarch. It's like a big jeans guy. I think it's a patriarch. Like a sort of like monochromatic, like purple, almost like looks veiny the way the highlights are. Looks fantastic. Perky posted Bloodthirster. And some nice classic Star Trek glasses behind there. I think that's a Bloodthirster, right? I recognize the model might be like a proxy. I need to get this guy. I believe this is Lysander, right? I need this guy. Great energy effects also. I believe this was also Perky, yep. And Victrix Guard, maybe? I think those are old Victrix Guard with the new ones in the back. Look great also. Golem posts. Yo! This Black Templar army is incredible, man. Wow. Oh, the banners. Everything is fantastic. You're a Raiders fan of the matching color scheme? This looks great. Oh, I love the Dreadnought. You have Vostroyans too? Oh shit. You have the metal ones. Oh god. You're styling all over me, man. Jeez. It's a work in progress? Yo. Why you make me look like a loser with my my shitty Vostroyan proxies? That's... Oh god. Hey guys, if you want to see armies that look better than mine, join the Discord, because Liberator over here is... Oh, those Vostroyans look great, man. I'm so jealous. Are those like the OG medals, or do you get recasts? Wait, oh, is that Perky? Oh shit, my bad. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Liberator, no, this Black Templars army is incredible, man. And then that's Perky that's selling all over me with his excellent. Okay, I thought we had two of the same armies, which I thought was gonna be an incredible coincidence. Not only same armies, but same sub-factions. But no, okay, Perky has an excellent Vostroyan collection. Perky, are those, Sorry, yes. I was... The two messages were next to each other, and I sort of just scrolled past. Liberator is a fantastic Black Templars army. Perky has the 250 Vostroyans, 9 of each heavy weapon themes. Are those medals? I'm only asking because I assume they're not. I want to get some recasts of the heavy weapon themes myself because I need new ones, because all of mine are in bases that are too big. Original metal? Jeez, bro. That's so sick. I was so tempted by the GW metal releases, but I had just gone to Old World. I just spent a bunch of hobby money at so many projects. That's amazing, man. I love Australians. You can probably tell I own I own them, but those Mel ones are by far my favorite miniatures of that generation. Yeah, I mean, yeah, both you guys have really awesome forces. I haven't taken a full picture of my Black Templars in a while, which I guess I should probably at some point. You ordered some of the made-to-order ones? Nice. I totally would have if I hadn't just bought 100 Beastmen like the week the made-to-order stuff got announced. I probably would have bought way too many Bostroyans. So let me just see one thing. I think you may be on... So, quick little rant. GW redid the Heavy Weapon Teams kit. They're now on a smaller base, which is so, like... Putting them on a bigger base is fine, right? Because, like, okay, I need to go on to, like... If I have this guy... You know, let's say he wasn't on square base, right? Let's say I had this guy, he goes up on a base. Okay, fine, just stick him on the bigger one. All my heavy weapon teams now have to go on smaller bases, and they all have like scenic stuff. I'm not telling you to redo your stuff, Berkey, right? Any good opponent will be fine with you doing them on the old base sizes. But someone who like wants to sometimes play at tournaments, it breaks my heart that one day I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and actually rebase them. I used my tax return to buy a new Reaver Titan. Aw, man. See, you're a bad influence, Perky, because now I'm like I'm hearing that I'm like, that should be me. I should be doing that with my money. Man, once you get that finished up, I would love to see it. Let me just clean off my brush really quickly, because I am seeing that the yellow is not covering so great in some spots. My mistress is GW and she is expensive. I feel that, man. It does make me happy that Old World is, at least comparatively for the models, much cheaper. That's... I've been taking that as a win. I think we'll probably save the metallics for next stream. 2 box of aggressors, midlife crisis. So I think we'll probably leave this guy where he is, and then we'll start highlighting up some of the other fellas. And I'll do like the final super bright red highlights at the very end, probably. See, I've never been tipped by the aggressors. I don't know why the posing and the sculpting of that early gen Gravis armor never spoke to me. But I do want to buy some Eradicators. Which is almost worse, because they're like, they feel smaller, but they're like the same price of aggressors. And they have like way fewer options than the aggressors do. And I kind of want to just buy like multiple. I want to max out on the Eradicators, basically. I won't have the option to max out on the Eradicators, which would be like 15 more, which is like, you know, 5 boxes, which is never a good idea. I only have 3 reads and I need 3 more. Getting them in the range is the big thing, though. They also take up extra space in transports. They're good as, like, reserves. It would be nice if there was, like, a good character for them, right? I don't know. I forget, like, what's... You could think, like, Apothecary Biologist, which is probably not the best. I guess, like, Captain Gravis armor might be okay. In certain, if you have, like, a good stratagem. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like the issue is that, like, the really big stuff, you're still wounding on 5s. Even though if the rerolls is not great, they're, like, good at, like, light tank shooting. Yeah, Biologist and Gravis. I actually have one nearby, somewhere. Right here. I redid them slightly to be in a sort of combat apothecary for... Last edition we got rules for Crucible of Champions. So I gave him the Teeth of Terra and like some other, basically just the Teeth of Terra and then like a slightly different helmet. But I quite like him. You can take the them with the Eradicators, I believe, but still probably not the best choice. I am much more of a narrative guy, so I do like those new rules for custom characters. Takes you back to the good old days of 40K. Yeah. I know apparently the Apothecary Biology is like really good start of the edition, but I don't know. He's alright. I kind of prefer the defensive boost that normal Apothecary gives. And I wish he just gave the defensive boost, because that would be really cool to have with Gravis Brains. Like for a big block of heavy intercessors, you take these guys, you give them their Apothecary, and I feel like that would be kind of sick actually, just to have a big chunky brick of them. Lurking is good stream. Thank you, Yang Chen. We love lurkers here. Feel free. Don't feel like you need to participate unless you want to. In which case, ask away. Feel free to chat. Glad to have you either way. Shout out to the lurkers, that's right. We appreciate you, even though we don't hear from you. I hope everybody's having a good night. I'll need to double check exactly how long I'll be able to stay on for tonight, but hopefully at least another couple minutes. Maybe a bit longer if all goes well. Yeah, looks like it might just be another 20 minutes, guys, but we'll try to make the most of it. We've been having some real, not even the warm weather, just like constant rain and humidity. So from my phone, I'm glad to be on the big screen, Ventry. So that's an honor. It's an honor usually only reserved for bad Lifetime dramas and boring Netflix shows. Be on your on your big screen while you scroll on your cellular device. Speaking of shows, I brought this up last time. I've been watching From. That's like my go-to watch 2 episodes of it after work while I eat my dinner. Really good show. It's been scratching a particular itch, but I'm almost caught up. So, again, you find something new. So if anyone has any like good TV show recommendations, let me know. Because there were a few years I stopped watching like premium television. You know, it was after like Game of Thrones, after Breaking Bad, all that stuff. It's like, god damn, there's nothing good on. Oh, I know I have to watch. I need to watch the new Vince Gilligan show. I was gonna say Begonia, but that's not it. The one with, was it Rhea Seehorn from Better Call Saul? Whatever that show is. That's the one I want to watch. Completely blanking on the name, though. Apparently it's good. Gotta go. Great stream, man. Well, I hope to see more of you in the future, Liberator. And you have some fantastic minis. So I definitely hope as you continue to grow your Templar collection, you will keep all of us up to date in the Discord. Have a good night. Getting pretty late for me too. Probably be calling it night. Jeez. Is that the, I think it's the playlist done. At some point, I'm going to queue all these hour-long playlists into one longer one. And I won't have to randomly see that you guys aren't getting any background audio on OBS. But until the day I actually do that, you guys can live with the awkward silence. We've had great turnout, 2 streams in a row. Thank you, everybody. Honestly, a little bit blown away, but I'm not gonna complain. Although, obviously, all the OGs, like Dentry, gotta put respect on their name, too. Surprised not to see some of the other OGs, like Face or Grave, but I can't really hold it against them, given how spontaneously I stream. Actually, a dastardly conspiracy theory just popped itself in my head. Also, I just remember I need to do something in terms of the model. What I want to do, I want to paint this cable red. And I never undercoat it with dark red, so I'm going to do that now. We're going to add in a red highlight later. I feel like this stream has not even been that long at all, and somehow my eyes are already like defocusing. To any of the people out there, feel free to come into chat and let me know if you are working on anything hobby-wise. Always love to hear and see people's projects. If you want to post pictures, you can join Discord. There should be a link in the description. I feel like I've been having more and more focus issues. Might just be the bright yellow and black doesn't really know what to focus on. Alright. I might just finish up the reds and the yellows on this one last fellow. And then we might even start wrapping up. If that's alright with everybody. We are getting to a little bit... It's getting a little late my time. So hopefully everyone's alright with that. Right. And then... Alright, I think we are good to start wrapping up. Ah, okay. So, alright, Mike, a little bit of a history lesson. In previous editions, you had the basic cost of a model, plus you have to pay for upgrades, including those weapons you have. In the current edition, what they will do is they will give you one price for a set number of models, usually however many come in a box. And all of the upgrades you see are included in that cost. So you're highly incentivized to... You're a rap star? Am I? So you're highly incentivized to take as many upgrades as possible. Let's say for this unit. They have... Comes in a box of 5. Basic loadout is just rifleman. This squad also has a more powerful option. A heavy bolter. You should most of the time take this heavy bolter. There are cases where you don't want to. They try and balance somewhat. So these guys hit on 3s. This guy hits on the 4 because the the bolter is a little bit more cumbersome, I believe is how it works. So you almost always want to pay, even though this guy is a little bit more cumbersome, he hits on a 4 instead. Mathematically, you should still always take the upgrades most of the time. Typically, you can just Google and you'll find like a Reddit post or whatever, and they'll tell you, okay, here's mathematically the best loadout. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't usually do that. However, 90% of people will, especially for like more modern kits. What a lot of people also do is they might just paint one guy differently. Or like, I have a very similar unit called Eradicator, where they have like kind of like melta guns or like anti-tank lasers. Basically, I just run one of the guys. It's supposed to have a multi-melta. I painted one guy slightly different. My guys don't have multi-melta, but all my opponents are okay with me. Like, as long as you can tell, okay, one guy here is different, just say, that's the guy off the upgrade. It's a little confusing, but that's generally the way things go for most play, right? As long as it doesn't have to be fully, it's called a WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. It doesn't have to be completely adhere to that, but generally it's good if maybe there's like an individual guy. Let's say all these guys had like helmets on, but this guy didn't have a helmet. I would say, okay, this is my heavy bolter guy, just because mathematically I'm paying for it almost. It's included with the points I pay for the squad. You should always run that heavy bolter. A little weird, but sorry if that was long-winded or confusing. If you have like a follow-up question, let me know. Super happy to see faces here. Just because of that, I'm gonna go for a little longer. I was just cleaning up. But if you guys give me, let's say, 2 minutes, just, you know, I've been going for a little bit over 2 hours now. I want like a quick stretch, some more water, have a good night entry. I will try and go for maybe another hour, but I just need a second here, guys. So give me just 1 moment. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Got some cold water, a beer, got some push-ups in, and I'm ready to go. You do you. Don't overdo on my account. I am good face. I'm alright. Don't have to commute or anything in the morning, so either way I'll have a few extra hours in my usual schedule, so I'm alright waking up an hour or so later. Jeez. I really sealed this thing in. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Turnout these past 2 streams has been incredible. I'm really happy to see it. The Pimp Crons. I definitely see this. I'm not like a Transformers guy, so that's not the first thing that came to my head. But I'm like, damn. The purple and pink, these guys are blinged out. Oh god. How many games or hours to play to get the basics down? So, you're like an MTG guy, you could definitely... Okay. My approach here would probably be find a friend, figure out just like a very introductory game, and just like reading the rules on how to roll dice and all that might be a bit hard. Figure out someone that knows what they're doing, play one game, and then afterwards... Sorry if I'm... those push-ups took a lot out of me. I'm very winded here. Whew, sorry. Play one game. And then really get into the crunch, just to get a sense for, like, the basics, right? I feel like getting that one game in really helps you solidify. Also, just discovered Jim Beam Black and Pepsi Zero Wild Cherry and Cream is the move. Jim Beam Black, damn. So, I have a friend who delivers stuff to liquor stores, and they have like a buyback program where if anything doesn't sell at a liquor store, they'll buy it back, and then the guys at the warehouse get dibs on like very cheap alcohol. Because we're doing a renovation, obviously, and whatever. We have a lot of friends that do like blue collar work, you know, electricians, whatever. So as we're like doing stuff, we usually just pay guys in cases of beer. So I have a lot of just random brands I don't usually have around. So I've been drinking some ultras. Sorry, to actually answer your question, because I've been avoiding it. I think it depends. You as a Magic the Gathering guy, I think, will probably pick up a little bit quicker than most. So I would say, even 5 games, if you like study in between, you could definitely get like 90% of things down, especially for like your faction. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. They took a lot of faction-specific mechanics away, so you're less likely to run into like a faction just completely ignores the game. Like there used to be like a psychic phase. There used to be a lot of like crazy stuff going on in the game. That's not really a thing anymore. Most people play by the same rules, which is you know, a blessing and a curse, right? Unfortunately, 40k, especially in its current state, takes a while to get games in. Like, if you're really good at the game, a lot of the best, like, new players that I've seen come into it in, like, the past 5 or so years are from Magic the Gathering, so I may be a bit biased. But, like, they're able to get a single game into 2 hours. Fun fact, Jim Beam has a hint of Jack Daniels because they use... because they buy their used barrels. I didn't know that, but I definitely believe it. I'm not like a big whiskey guy, but I know there's a lot of like, I guess, strategy and like intentionality that comes into the wood and the preparation. Like I know, I think it's Jack like chars the hell out of the insides of the barrels, right? There's also all the, like, legalities. All the, like, little terms you can and can't use depending on, like, what kind of whiskey you're making, where it's made, all that. I know the preparation of barrels is a big issue there also. I see. Ah. So then Jim Beam comes in and picks all those used barrels up. That makes sense. I've never really gotten the whole Jack Daniels, like, I guess, like, the almost cult around it. As far as like the big whiskey brands go, like I do prefer my Johnny Black and my Jim Beams. I'm a friend with a lot of whiskey heads. Oh, I'm friends with a lot of whiskey heads, so I drink it rather often. I drink it very often also. I drink it more than I know about it. We'll put it that way. Oban. You know what? I think you've stumped me, Perky. I don't know what Oban is. I'm more of a quantity over quality. I think I'm in the same boat than Tree. Y'all ever pull out that Popov? I only drank one thing, and that was Southern Comfort. It's a Scotch. Is it like what do they call it? Like a peat whiskey? If it's from like the Isles, a Bon whiskey. Oh yeah, Scotch from Oban, Scotland. Sea salt smoke. Will this be considered a peat whiskey, or am I messing up my terms here? Plastic bottle for the win. That's where I'm at. It's very smooth. It's a sweet whiskey. I had to check it out. I only realized my love of peat whiskey maybe like 2 years ago, where I had like a Scotch whiskey. And it was like almost like it almost gave me like salted like caramel notes. I was like a big fan. And when I was like with a guy who actually knew his shit, and he told me, hey, that's peatiness. If you can like taste the salt of the Scottish village where it was made, which may be BS, but it tasted true, and that's what really matters. Oban is widely considered a very good, high-quality single malt Scotch whiskey, known for its flagship Oban 14-year-old, which bridges sweet, rich style of the Highlands. How much is it? Because I looked it up to figure out where it was made. Didn't even look at the price. I'm getting like 82. Is that right? I'm getting one bottle of it. And then just, yes, between $75 and $110. Okay, so it looks like that 82 number was right on. I might like it then. Which, I'm always afraid of like trying out really nice whiskeys. Because then you run the issue, it's like, what if this is life-changing? What if I have like a glass of this and it's like the best thing ever, and then you just like wreck your palate, and then you're like spending whatever $500 a year to buy just like 5 bottles of this stuff. You'll have to remind me to try some when I have like crazy money that I could afford to spoil my palate with. Because like that taste profile sounds incredible, which would be very dangerous in my current situation. The upgrade from fucking Everclear to Oban. That'd be quite a jump. It's cheap compared to... Well, yeah, that's the issue. I've already got one thing siphoning away all my money. Like, I'm at my limit here. New Mal Chal idea, Mal goes to rehab after obtaining the... That's too real. That's... that's actually gonna happen. Also, I just realized, Denshi, were you supposed to leave like a while ago? I hope I'm not keeping anybody up, because I know it's getting kind of late. And we're starting on some metallics, because my boy Face finally decided to arrive. Also, everybody watching, please, if you have... I know all the OGs know who Face is, but... Please check him out. Excellent guy. Also has fantastic streams. Would be nice if he actually streamed on his time slot, because he's missed 2 weeks now. Unlike me, he has a schedule. He just chooses not to keep it. Nah, but Face is a good guy. My evening is just starting. These crons I can't pip themselves. I feel like this is usually when you end your streams, right? I would have assumed around now is bedtime for Face, but I might be wrong. It's also my first uncaffeinated stream. I could feel it. Now my narration, which is my painting, everything just feels so stiff and weird. I think it's also me being 2.5 hours in and just generally being a long day. My week is literally wrecked because of health and weather. Plan is to stream Sunday at the very earliest. Yikes. Yikes. I'm just making bad decisions tonight. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I'm glad I don't work with you, so I don't have to see the fallout in the morning. I mean, unlike me, Face has, like, genuine, real-life, important commitments. So... Oh wait, Face, you actually know what I look like now. Face knows my face. Now you can find the answer. Was Gino right? Does my voice not fit how I actually look? Dark Angels. The Archangels were going to be my first army. Until I said nah, and I did Templars instead. Oh yeah, I can stalk you for real now. Oh, he's spot on. I have like a kind of weird voice. Like, I don't know what I think I would sound like. Corn work in progress Patreon chat. What does that mean? Corn? Crawn. Oh, crawn. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes a tiny bit more sense. Alright, guys, what do we think of him so far? I do really like your Necron scene, by the way. It's like very like genuinely regal. I just thought calling him a pimp was also kind of funny. What are we thinking, fellas? Also, let me turn down this light. I think that might also be hurting. Still have a few more highlights to go. Still have a lot of freehand. Still, honestly, we're only like halfway through. You know, my Templars have a lot of like highlighting and like little stuff to do at the very end. But hope everyone enjoyed the stream. This was great. I hope to see all of you here next time or in a future stream. And if you are interested in showing your work with me, I am planning on the next stream to do a painting review. So if you're interested in doing that and you want your paint jobs featured here, let me know. That's exactly what I was going for. I'm writing the Dynasty pompous assholes for Necrons. I mean, yeah, the purple gives that away. You think back to the Byzantines with that one. But yeah, see everybody later. Have a good one.